What's up, everybody? My name is Czane. If you guys don't know who I am, I've been playing Archer for about like a year, maybe a year and a half. I think it's coming up on maybe almost 2 years. I think in like Octoberish. I used to be a pretty shitty Archer for a very long time until I put like a lot of time and effort into the class. A lot of people have been asking me for a guide. Depending on how I guess this video does, maybe we'll cook one up on like positioning and stuff like that. I've been talking about doing one for a while, like with the way I position into node wars, how I frag so hard, stuff like that. Archer's in a decent state at the moment. It's not like terrible. It's good. The damage is a little lackluster, I think. I think some of the nerfs they did was a little too much, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I digress. This is pretty much going to be a gear / crystal guide with add-ons and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty quick, very, very simple, short. If you guys have any questions or you want to go back to anything, you can obviously DM me anytime you want. But if you go to my Discord, I'll leave the Discord link in the description. I have everything listed. I have uncapped, capped, PvE movement. It's a movement string that you can run. It's not really a string. It's kind of just to get you familiar with all the movement in the kit because the class is very freestyle. That's what's so amazing about Archer is each Archer plays a little bit different. But as for gear's pretty it's pretty much like everybody else in the game at the moment. You run 5 Debo Rekka and uncapped content, 5 Debo, 1 AC, and all uncapped content. I'm currently 331 bracket with 409 DP. Yes, I know my DP is a little bit low. I don't have 10 armors because I think I'm dying anyways, to be honest with you, but that is what it is, just Archer life. As for like open world content, I've been testing a bit of what feels best, and I do feel like triple feels better. So I'll run like something like this, where I get 328. I have, so before I had 5 pen AC, 1 Debo, and it used to be the best. But then obviously the DR changes came and it made evasion a lot weaker, so it actually mattered less. So you don't run it as much. So I kind of run something like this because the AP from it just feels good. It feels a lot better in open world because in open world a lot of people tend to run a lot more silly builds. You can also run something like this if you wanted to. If you don't happen to have, I mean it's the same thing, right? You don't really lose much, but I run the Dons because I think they look nice. I'm going to be honest, but yeah. I do think people in open world tend to run like a lot more silly / goofy things, as in they tend to stack more evasion, so stack more DR, so you need more accuracy to hit them. It is what it is, you know. As for Lightstones, you run, I think AOA feels the best in uncapped content. In capped content, I've been testing Crocodile Tooth and target openings. I feel target openings does more consistent damage, but Crocodile Tooth feels really, really good if I were to CC somebody like ranging forwards, which doesn't matter as much anymore because the HP cap and cap content is so high that ranging up is just kind of not necessarily pointless, but it's very hard to get picks nowadays unless somebody plays like blatantly stupid. But Croc Tooth, if you knock somebody down, you feel the down attack modifier and you usually just evaporate them. But I think target openings is more consistent damage, so I think target openings like with the 6% crit is a lot better than the Croc Tooth with, I think it's 3% crit and 3% down attack or something like that. It feels good too. It's just definitely, I guess, preference. Try them both out, see how you feel. I think target openings is personally better. I use Croc Tooth pretty much for my entire existence on Archer, and I'm just trying target openings out recently. As for capped buffs and elixirs and stuff like that, I run Deep Seas for all content. Uncapped, capped, I run Immortal Deep Seas. If I know the war is going to be short, I'm not going to be dying a lot. I run regular Deep Seas, obviously. For capped content, I run regular Harmonies. For uncapped, I run Humans because you don't really need the human damage in capped because you already overcap. I do run triple Tungrad, so I run 2 Pride Tungrads and a Duo Tungrad Belt. The reason I run Tungrad Belt and 2 earrings instead of rings is because I want the crit damage on these two. Obviously, I could put cups in them, but obviously the AP/AP/DR does not matter. So I want the crit cups. So I didn't want to cup the rings. So I'm lazy, so I just put the cups in here. As for like crystals for this is like if I'm getting Dovela in open world. This isn't really for like PV or for like uncapped node wars and stuff like that. This is kind of like my tankier HP kind of like half damage setup, which is 1 Elcar, 2 Red Spirits, 2 Corrupteds, 2 Lucases, 2 Max HPs, 2 Vipers, 4 Hooms, and a Bongwong. For my uncapped setup. This is very, very min-max. I did the math. I'd ran the numbers and all that on it. Cooked with a lot of my friends. I used to not run this L car, and I used to run an Addons. So it used to be like this. It used to be like this, which you can run this if you want. I just think the L car feels a little bit better. The extra 20 axe sometimes feels like it helps in uncap to kill like some people, because some people still run a little bit of evasion, so you kind of need a little bit of accuracy to hit them. That's why I think triple double might be better in open world, because I feel like Archer just needs more accuracy and it just does damage. I don't know, it's weird, but the L car, I swear it does more damage. But yeah, so this is the uncap setup. Let me swap this back. I thought I didn't save it. Whoopsies. Swap it back. But it's the setup. It is 2 L cars, 2 red spirits, 2 corrupteds, 2 Lucases, 1 Jin max HP, 1 Viper, 2 RBF Viper or RBC Vipers, 1 Addis, 2 Max, and 1 Bongwong. You could run 4 Max. It's just running an Addis / like, you could remove this Viper, by the way, and run Addis instead of removing the L car if you want to see that. But yeah. So there's no like. So 4 Max is fine. It's just I feel like the human damage is better because there's so many people stacking DR. That's why you could run Blight and open and uncapped. It's just I feel like with the removal of spec evasion, I feel like the crit does matter because Archer crits so much. He only has a few skills that are not crit, which is like Piercing Light. I think Shotgun isn't full crit, and I think Righteous Smite is also not full crit. So he has like some skills that aren't full crit, but obviously you can run Gaping. You can pop Gaping Darkness and as a pre-buff when you do that stuff if you wanted to. But it does. I feel like with the removal of spec evasion, I feel like AoE is just stronger. As for my capped 50 mans, I also have a T1 setup. If you guys want to see that too, I know I have some T1 people that have been asking me for crystal setup. For my cap 50, 50 mans is like the upper bracket, like Medaya, Valencia. It's like not upper bracket, it's the middle ground. The HP cap is at 1100, 11k, not 1100, 11k. So I run 1 L car, 2 Rebelliouses, 2 Corrupteds, 2 Lucases, 2 max HPs, 2 Cobelius, 4 Hooms, and a Bong and a Hate. So this is so I run as much HP as possible so I can hit the cap. If you wanted to, you can swap the Cobeliuses out and run 2 Ocrads for the extra attack and casting speed if you really wanted to. This is what I run if I don't know if I'm feeling spicy that day. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to run Cobeliuses. I want more attack speed. Sometimes I even swap mid-war. Not gonna lie. I feel like the Ocrads do feel really good. It might be a copium thing, but I swear it feels better. As for my cap T1s, this is pretty much because T1s are capped at 6,500 HP. So these are pretty much just like the absolute just mid-max bullshit. Like I think there's probably something better out there that you could probably find, but I think this is what I run every time we drop on T1s, and I usually top frag. So I have 2 L cars, 2 Corrupteds, 2 Lucases, 2 Ocrads, 1 Jin HP, so you don't need more than that. 2 Vipers, 2 Absorptions. Absorptions are very underrated. Shout out my boy Bean. He reminded me that they even existed. 2 Brutal Decimations and 1 Garen Steer. The reason you run Garen Steer instead of Bongwong is because Garen Steer has an extra spec attack plus 1%. Bongwong only has 0.5. So you get more damage with Garen Steer. As for add-ons for uncapped. This is uncapped content add-ons. I run these are them. I run accuracy and evasion rate on Spirit Sylvia. Luthergons has a human damage and crit hit damage. Piercing Light is crit hit rate and all minus DP. You could add something else on here. The reason I have so much DP things is because sometimes you engage with full bloom and sometimes you engage with Mark Bloom, and the minus DP just really, really helps. Like you feel like you hit really fucking hard, to be honest. As for like Righteous Smite's pretty obvious. Crit rate, crit damage. Sometimes you engage with Piercing Light. Sometimes you just start with full bloom. Sometimes you start Mark Bloom into Spirit Sylvia. You can also do Shift E into Shift Q, which is a good combo, obviously. Mark Bloom's damage is a little not as good as it used to be. It used to absolutely obliterate people. Now it kind of tickles a little bit. RP Shade, that ability is completely dead, unfortunately. I don't want to drag this video on too long. I know I'm ranting. I'm a big yappa. Okay, capped content. Here's capped content. Accuracy and evasion rates still on Spirit Sylvia. I feel like it helps a little bit because some people just don't hit the evasion rates, so it can help. And sometimes people do minus AC on their abilities. And with the introduction of tongue grads, some people are barely hitting the accuracy of 900. So having the accuracy rate on Spirit Soviet does help. Luthergon's down attack crit. I feel like if I see somebody and then I Luthergons, I actually just evaporate them. To be honest, the down attack just feels so good. His Piercing Light is crit hit rate and crit hit damage. Full Bloom has attack casting speed and 100 bleed. For obvious reasons, the bleed literally applies to whoever you hit with your Full Bloom. Absolutely disgusting. Righteous Smite, same thing. Marked Bloom, attack casting speed and crit hit damage. So, we can go over PvE really quick. Let me go to the skill instructor and grab the PvE. Actually, I can just grab them from here, from my Discord. Here is the PvE add-ons for Archer. These are add-ons that I run. Crit hit rate, and this is pretty much it. Earth Shatter, Spirit Sylvia. The combo I run for Archer, I'll probably just post it in the pinned comment. If you guys want to go check it out, this is the pinned comment that I'll just post it in the pinned comment so you don't have to really look at it. Also for PvE, I lock Grand Bloom because Full Bloom melee just does more damage unless you are at lower end spots like Orcs and stuff like that where you're spamming your Full Bloom to kill stuff. Even though you shouldn't be spamming it. There's so many skills that just do an insane AoE. As for house buffs, by the way, I didn't even mention this. As for house buffs, for 50 mans, I run HP, which is like the bear head. For uncapped, if it's the regular Node War and not Siege, I run an Imp Knife. If it's Siege, I run the 15 AP house buff, which is the Shadow Lion Head, or whatever it's called. And then for T1s, I run Stamina, which is pretty obvious. Also, I run Caboose for capped content, as most people do. And then for uncapped, I run range AP. I don't think I included that, sorry. But another thing for PvE, I run AoE pretty much everywhere, unless species damage is better. It just feels the best in slot for like almost every class. I think it's pretty standard. You could also, I know somebody's gonna bring it up. Salith, the main hand, it's good, but it's only gonna be good for like 2 more weeks, if that, because we get Lanimer Light Soul in a few weeks. So after that, it's probably gonna be very voided to where you can't risk or you can't like lose the AP that you're gaining from your main hand to run the extra to get the extra human damage. It just won't even out. Plus, we have new brackets and stuff coming. You kind of want to hit those brackets because your main hand does influence your Awakening's damage a little bit. But, yeah. I mean, Salith, good right now. Won't be good in a few weeks. Price will probably plummet. Up to you if you want to sell it right now or not. But, yeah. That's it for the video, guys. If you have any questions, I'm live 6 days a week. You can also join my Discord. Discord link will be in the description. If you want to DM me about any questions you have on Archer, feel free, man. That's what I'm here for. I love this class. It's super, super fun. If you haven't tried it out, I recommend trying it out. It does take a lot of time and effort to get into it. The hardest thing about Archer is its movement. Depending on how this video did, as I said before, I will consider doing a guide where I show you guys how I ranged up. So I have a bunch of clips that I've been compiling for a while to try to do a guide. It's just I haven't gotten around to it, to be honest. But if you have any questions, I answer them all the time. Whether I'm live, you can DM me, anything you want, man. Hope you guys have a great night. Peace out, fellas.